This season on Kerr Fatou. Fatou. Oli.
Every young Gambian dreams of a university degree. He wants a good paying job after graduation, a pretty wife, and ultimately own a dream home.
What if I can't afford my desired dream home?
And that is why you need to visit Universal Properties.
We specialize in customer satisfaction. We listen to every of our clients' needs when we show the properties to our clients. Before you know it, you hear the client saying,
I like this house.
This is the room that cuts my heart.
And most of the time, they cling to the door, never to let go. Most clients want to close the deal right there. And that is why we always have their contracts in the trunk of our cars. We work at our client's pace. No haggle, no hassle.
We're waiting for you at our office in Caraba Avenue here in the Gambia.
For the first time in the history of the Gambia, Gambia Printing Publishing Corporation proudly introduces the Biliomatic exercise book printing machine. The machine has the capacity to print more than 20,000 books per hour. Yes, 20,000 books per hour. It also prints magazines, newspapers, calendars, flyers, normal books and all kinds of printed documents plus items at affordable prices. With the Biliomatic printing machine, GPPC can now render high quality and non-size restricted printing service supply across the sub-region. Rush now and partner with GPPC for all your public and private printing service needs. Print with us today and you'd be offered highly professional, reliable and efficient service delivery by our team of experts. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation is here to meet all demands and is reliable at all times. For more info, contact us on 437-4493 or 437-4402. GPPC is Gambian and it's yours.
When we touch down, better broke down.
Gamtel G-Fiber, now you can enjoy super fast internet in gigabytes. G-Fiber is affordable, stable, secured, and accessible to homes, businesses, and enterprises. With Gamtel G-Fiber, the future is speed. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
Assalamu alaikum badi ngal bismillah na Kerr Fatou programme ton kamina tale jang aramisa badi ngol be be kan GRTS ani min ben no makan na Facebook ani YouTube channel ol to ngal bismillah comme ka ke nyamen drong aramisa bi na programme to oli comme nga fo nyamen drong patio be kunta Kerr Fatou le bayri Kerr Fatou ningo Kerr Fatou comme nga fo nyamen couple of weeks ago nga season o commencé but this year be election year kono anu ningo election year be opportunity di la patio bela comme ka nyami ron kabrin Kerr Fatou sida kana ka fo mole to le muneto banko mole muna ya tinna Gambia no nenta carte fayele to le ware la candidate so le nga commence nim parti dola bi nga NPP la most to jang dol ka NPP la barola jata ba Ahmed di dem fo barin kelom bari mbuka beng bayri atemo molti mi yalo go wato watito ateka to fitino ko le kono bari mbari kelom ndo malom na doko ke nyola GRTS keta moti mi alon ko sawarta politiko kono bake abe ko mayra biya tebe kanala nga fana nati nga kachake mi alon ko wolo ila police. Ahmed, welcome to Kerr Fatou for the first time.
Bare musu kendo mbe kondon na bak adon kondanda fana ka nañing very important programme to min keta new season olti album min keka ya long Kerr Fatou starta meta en kondan bak kabiri a commencé bari alamang neneni sindi ngakaja ba bibe di ala bari muso ni bari kembe
wala nan ko oliye nana bari muso ni bari ke ma be ko do no wala nan ko oliye bi you cannot miss this show because me and Ahmed rek man ma mom rek dafa boring.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamtel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamtel.
So why moo tax tey oli Ahmed lañ am fii Ahmed mu ngi nekk dëkk Canada waaye nañ dugg si loolu li moo def Canada waaye tey Ahmed lañ indi fii mu ngi represent NPP.
Fatou loolu mu nekk lu important trop comme ni nga koy just waxee si beginning bi partis yëpp la ñoo ibil suñu buntay partis yëpp la ñoo wax ne kaay leen ngeen toog si toogu Fatou bi wax wi ngeen wax ñi nga xam ne ñoo leen ñi seetaan lan ngeen am pour ñoom so because election yi la te fu mu nekk nii fiñ toll nii ñu ngi am new voters yi nga xam ne ñu ngi dugg si ñu ngi am old voters yi nga xam ne ñoom am na luñ doon xalaatee ñu ngi am ñi nga xam ne ñooy silent majority bi toog seen kër yi so programme lii nii it's very very important mu diverse ñëpp ñëw so su ko defee ku nekk soo seetaanee soo toogee nga ne man de na fele laa woon de waaye musuma xam ne ñii nekkee lii ak lii sax lañ am den su boobaa dafa gën a neexal waxtaan yi si kër yi gën a neexal waxtaan yi si bantaba because ñu bari nañ understand values yi partis yi am ñu bari nañ understand policies yi partis yi am because fii yàgg na ñuy dégg ñuy wax ne parti bi amul benn policy waaye xëy na mosuñu am plateforme buñ toog pour wax seen policies yi lan la parti bi daal man mënuma understand waaye comme niñ ko waxee shows like this dina joxe that opportunity so Ahmed ñu welcome la for the first time on Kerr Fatou pour ñu ñëw waxtaan about NPP.
Thank you very much Oli. Ahmed nga commencé damin ton juma la Ahmed Jitteh bari tonya jama ba minu melo ma fonte ni ñun dolu bari mol ki Ahmed Jitteh Facebook to be commentary kila on political issues ba platform to bari tonya juma lo Ahmed Jitteh bota min tole
abaraka bake mbare muso momoronde ning ayatuma ko be jibero la nyim programme be kontona ntomu Ahmed Jitteh lati wuluta kombo basori naram wuluta basori le bari mfama benu karangola mor kebabulu je kambakar dabu bari mbije after around 93-94 paron dolbe do arim back so mfama mufta atata kiti kombo kiti so sabatta wolto kuluta wolto so ntata primary school jamisa primary mbota woto ntata jamisa junior secondary school mbota jamisa junior ntata nusrat mbe nusrat le nga GRTS start so mbe GRTS for some time nata na scholarship soto ntata Canada kata degree ke in engineering so mbe Canada nga degree soto engineering nga another degree soto in statistics saying I'm working on my masters.
Oli Ahmed Jitteh waxna fim jaar fatale ko na bi mo ñew GRTS ñu ngi fa won mu nekkon xale bu amone ité si li mo def farlu mu am scholarship dem janga tay mu ngi janga way nga minji Ahmed la ko to wolonko idunta politiko kono wate be karangola and of course obviously former president the scholarship deal bari you know at some point you even had to abandon issues happen and then you turned inata ki activist politician ti mune ite dundi politiko kono
So I mean fenne kete na mi alon ko amandi any yeah ite akalamtal actually GRTS ya jambelen CJ
ha
yonte ninke bal ka kacanum bake ke ba tero lebembul mine alon ko alpha bal kata anka ata tabiye ni ka kacawa ke bal 50 60 17 so ke bano ne kuma fonya mi alon ko it sank in me kula mi alon ko kumara konye ko ye nyamato kudaf akonye ya jele bang ay jawo soto komi moye nyamato ja rek aya jawo ya kay hani akonye dalilo mi an nyamato man jawo soto wala mi ndi ko nyamato nafata ala ate nyabo datu akonye lefte si hakilo to bak ila balwoto ni aje bidal ning pythons minian wal ni aje kamalta jamali kamabole so pabi ni ngamara komi ngang hakilo diara so be maybe I feel recognize nto kawo ya marodina jahanga kebalo e ka fa ko muktar sila bantale brikama ha akonye si hakilo to so kabiro donde youth activism te kawala kenum mbe red cross mbe IOGT mbe award scheme mbe juma abe youth ambassadors of business babel but most of the time of course very smart academically alhamdulillah
yes.
Nimfindi dandara molia nindara programola nka moli je fan ikan nkoma kuma angale kamola because ita sutelande ko
ya angale kamola
ha so nzita nga koral tika mbe jaliba fenkela mbe na boyo dol wol be tandam ko sila no mbe mol jamunna tare coming later on kaminul ke yeah so nkawol ke I mean you know atata wala nyama fo mbe ya jamela ko ning GRTS from me and CJ that's what I'm trying to come up to so napsa sorora they have been head boy throughout primary junior senior Nusrat so napsa ila programo ka kenyame ning fenko be caring ning congress be caring it is the student leaders minyalon ko eke samba head boys head girls with a few other students ikawleki so ndebe nun jamisa junior as head boy nina head girl ntata congress la friendship hotel you know so nka Sadio Baro imitate nka kibarol di so you know they were very happy about me for entertainment so maintain and then nata Nusrat kabinara Nusrat my first year in Nusrat ibita congress la again na head boy at the time was Sana Manjang, Sabe Gambia Bureau of Statistics, and in a head girl, Kumba Ba, I think she's now in the US. Yen Sambaje, Ndaraje again, Nkanying entertainment, to pretend and all of that. So in Aranke in the corporate executive. So ndekatarole nyama ning entertainment o sidanga entertainment okay nga jele nga fenke. So lundo ndata kanilai. Atramu head boyot ya jame science and math academy la foundation of kanilai so there was a girl me alonko I poemo dada jamme ka HIV AIDS jarano so onada na poemo dada so ya karan angalela ntenga a translate into mandinka so jamme ko Nene Magdol was the information minister at the time. Aning Momodu DG, former DG, Momodu Sanyang, akoy putting employee, you know, GRTS. Basically, I mean, aketa wala nyama. Warendema agree nung kara GRTS because ndela interest mo engineering and all of that. So jamena da fonye it's okay, you can go there. When you graduate and have a good result, you can study anywhere you want and you can do whatever you want. So that was an agreement with Jamme. Lantombo was present at that meeting. He's a witness. So yeah, I mean, grade 12 Banta and all of that. So grades were good. So I went to study. So, but Kabindara study la 2013 nata science sonko. So I understand there were people many alonko because around that time the outside criticism is becoming prominent with the rise of social media, Facebook and all of that. So Jame Molminka, kat ala call against, internet to abesiaka. So I understood there were people mini alonko ike recruit by the intelligence, NIA, to help with information out there. Ndefana nata jang. Fojam meleafo fojam memafo. Bari, one of the very senior officials at NIA at the time, young approach la ko jammele afenke, whether I'll be interested in something like that. Mafa hanide because yalo na mimbekerang at the time. So to banda, that was the to yen joguba bay ye Mamadou Sawal ke Secretary General. This was in Lamen, the meeting at Lamen. So ba kabirin dada Canada rek nga Mario kon kai no. I'm not interested in farmer. I'm like, no, okay, and I'm not going to do that.
That was to spy on people.
Yes, spy on people. So mbang ngai ndak. So jame na scholarship terminate. So, but I was very angry because nte, I mean, hani jamme mang scholarship dintela. I mean, we were among the top, kids from grade 12. GRTS yang announced, radio yang announced. In fact, education is scholarship all over Molia. Jamela Konde ko, you cannot get the scholarship. You have your own package. Fadlamin Fai was the minister at the time. Fadlamin Fai Fangolen told Commandant Office Kafanyako, ite, HEI and leko, your promise is there, and it'll a scholarship bar formula. So you are not going to be part of, those Minalonko Vita University here for medicine and all of that. So what if I went a time late in the, I was supposed to go to university in 2009 because I graduated at 2008. So I'm 9, 10, 11 in the school. Yeah, so I mean, so bari the fact ko ntemala fi doku kela yenna scholarship terminate when me back. So nga feel ko ndese fono ala. But I don't want it to happen to anyone again. Because, I mean, luato, adamadiato, ila nyantolem ni doku odileata, ni malafa leafo malafa. But umanya natin na scholarship minga deserve. Ya dinna yang offer. And it's up to PhD level. So, just second year into my program, you terminate because you want me to do something malafa. So, nkate kela jang. Jamefana, modo nyinde kela modo la so mfana nga kelo kumasi wala nyam akete nyaaw nya fonde fana yaaje jamme mansaya fight nyat so nyinne actively nyinne ta dundi political otherwise ndela interest mo education kabirina primary school na email address is prof short for professor. I did that to motivate me because I want to be a professor someday. So whatever na fenko is prof. So bari jamme abedu nyoto sai. Abedu nyoko. Politiko dunta sonno mo kono. Politiko dunta sonno ko. Olin ko ya dunta nyami politiko ko.
Te wax na lu am solo because it's good ne lu bari mu de leer because nit ñu bari gom nañ ne Ahmed Jitteh scholarship he was handpicked by Jammeh because of after the issue of April 10 and all of that. So what he everybody wanted as to why he got the scholarship. So what Sumune talk one and he was one of the best students, regardless of the Jammeh personal scholarship that he gave you, you would still be qualified to get a scholarship through the system. Why? Looking at his academic track record, it was the same question I was going to add on. Why politics? Because of really engineering, and then you seem to be somebody who's really interested in communications and all of that. So politics is somehow linked, but definitely it's two different fields. But legi rek ñu bëgg xam den nga singa door sa xeex ak Jammeh. So Kelo started. Yeah. Ya nekk si Kelo bi. So okay. What was your relationship like with Jammeh? Because Jammeh ñëpp xam nañu at that point in time he was very powerful. So ku start Kelo ak mom at that point Kelo bi dina wara metti ci sa bor torop. Yes. So naka nga dundé during that period when your scholarship was stopped and you started this being an activist against Jammeh and trying to survive in Canada because you had to continue your education.
First my relationship with Jammeh. I mean, one thing I would tell you about Yaya Jammeh, he has good taste for talent.
Yeah.
ni yaya jamme aje ko ite mo I hakkilo bete atala adung ye influence soto alafte katabala for whatever reason is left to Jammeh. And sometimes, of course, even if he has an ulterior motive, bari ay mo jama mako wala jaye karandi yaya na aje ko ite, you are very smart, you are very talented. Jammeh will always bring you closer. So I'm a very funny guy. Politics is what messes it up a bit. Because Gambian politics is, you have to be crazy, you have to be, but until most of my work is entertainment. You know, that's why a lot of boys from Onienje, you know, we knew him as a clown. That clown. You know, nobody ever knew me as an academic giant. You don't beat me in classroom. No. Nimbe tulungola mavo, but you don't beat you don't beat me in classroom. When I place my foot down, you don't. If I don't care now that I am into a lot, that's fine. But I'm focused, you don't beat me in classroom. No. So, but most people don't know, because outside of classroom, I'm a totally different type of human being. Very funny. I tell you, I don't want to mention names. We went for Bantaba, Red Cross Bantaba in Buyam. There were Red Cross girls that, you know, my behavior sometimes is crazy. That they would send me to go fetch water for them to take bath. They would assign me to launder their clothes. People will give me, wallahi, they'll give me their clothes to go and wash it for them. And sometimes they'll give me $2. Some will give me minty banda, and they will clap and I will dance. And when we dance, I have a very good friend, Ikafa Baba Mane. He's now a master's degree holder in public health. When we leave, Nimbotaje, Ndolfanal Ketol Jele. Hankata Nimbotela Yade Kaka. Because they don't know. They, you know, Lundo Sunkuto do Bije. You know, Akondesan Malong in English. I don't know, you know, which foolish parent would let, you know, a child like this, you know, behave this way and be loose like this. When did me back? But a month and 5. Then we just, you know, on a grade 9 sit. On a grade 9 sit. So Red Cross that year, Momo BJ, actually I got aggregate 9. I had terrible problems, and I aggregate 9. I ended up getting that. So, you know, Kabiri result all findida Lamin William Jammeh Atelem Kulu later on. He was Secretary General of the Red Cross Society. I mean, I had the results all announced. In the entire country, Momo be Red Cross, I had the best results. I saw those girls there, the ones that were backbiting me in English. They were there. Kabiru Walung Honeybee. So we have those pretend. So Jammeh is an amazing guy in terms of talent picking. I mean, he's very good at that. So, but when we had a problem, so what happened? What made me suspicious actually? Because Mole Lamin Manga, yes, he was the DG. Atelen Kumandi, Akonya Kongo. Echi kwena akoy muruna ina do kola bara jannate kawke yalom Gambia mol be Fatou Touré he hakilo NAL ko hakilo ini mboroita isem sojaro mo kiara Dakar ay komanda ko nye kula be kerin ko nye ware ni ko ina iba na information also konelolom in fact dabulata 30th December fenko kono I don't want to mention his name but I know so you understand so Kabiru Okeda, they sent a letter to the university because they terminated my scholarship. Mankaito kitten ntenam followed mankaito. So nyimano ya fonde. You understand? So university the president yentelon because I was active. I was actually at the time the student rep for engineering at the council. I was the councillor for faculty of engineering at the council, and I represented about 3,000-4,000 engineering students in the main student union. So I am commanding them. Akonya kule bijang. I be for okay. Akonya, but you know, of course, you know, if you want to stay, we're going to give you something. So scholarship terminated. University gave me $16,000. But what they want me to do is, if I have to stay, I have to regularize my sound. So if you fear for your life, we have all this support. We can give you all the resources are available. So I mean, na school me enjoy to university because there are a lot of scholarships. And then one semester I took that off. So another semester I got a bit sick. I had a little bit of operation in Sasada. So I took 1 year almost off. So after that I got scholarship from Canadian government. So Kabiri Walum for me. Canadian government can sponsor to answer your question. So my scholarship is entirely supported by Canadian government until today. So I'm grateful to God.
So we'll take our first commercial, but when we come back, we will look at Ahmed today. He entered politics, a political kumasi, Kabiru Wolungole. You started fighting Jame Falinta. We had a coalition government. You supported the coalition government. But along the line, Ibe Patio Minto, Mimu UDPT, in coalition, in President Barrow, who is the leader of the coalition, Ifarata, and you decided to stick with the president to support his agenda. B, President Barrow, Ayafansu Potilo, Minketa NPP, and you are part of you call yourself the founding members of the party. B, few months to election. Munat na nyanta lalaka President Barrow empower again to go for another 5 years. One more friend me an kumbara flanga kacha utonga na force commercial breakdown in nata drum. So will be kacha.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
fay lempo warugal la ci képp koo xam ne doomi réew mi nga ak ñu fi dëkk bu fekkee ne ci at mi sa koom-koom weesu na $2,400 dalasi mbete weer bu nekk di nga am lu tollu ci $2,000 dalasi lempo si la nguur gi di sukkandeku ngir liggéey yokkute réew mi GRA mooy banxaas bu nguuri Gambia sas ngir mu fayeku lépp luy lempo ci biir réew mi ba tax na GRA di yëgal faykati lempo yi ne warugal la pour ñu fay lu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment maanaam bépp contract bu waay joxe te ci biir réew mi lañu toog kon xaalis ci contract bi ngeen nangotoo war nga cee wàññi ci xayma téeméer bu nekk fukka bu fekkee ne contracto bi dëkkut ci biir réew mi bu boobaa di nga war a wàññi téeméer bu nekk fukka ak juróom lii mooy lempo bu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment lii mooy lempo bi nga xam ne yow mi joxe contract warugal la nga wëlbatiku dem fay ko ci maakaani GRA tax office bu la gën a jege mbete ci banque yi GRA jagleel pour fay lempo war ngaa jébal lempo bi si diiri fukki fan ak juróom gannaaw bi nga wàññee ci xaalis si contract bi amul benn contracto bu ñu teggil fay lempo bi xanaa mu fekk ne nguuri Gambia ñoo ko jégale boole si projet yi nga xam ne mbootaay ndimbali ñoo koy dépense GRA di fayeku lempo ngir yokkute réew mi
Sampa deena déedéet daf ma yónni woon ma suyal ko dégg waaw yàlla def mu gañe jàppoon $100,000 la def
la ilaha illallah
te yow xam nga ne sama papa dafa amee cardiaque
yow da ngaa dof yow xam nga luy $100,000
xam naa ko kay man naa lu ñu bëggoon nga dimbali
demal na nga def damaa toog rek sama xel mi ne ci yow xam nga bërki démb li daal si benn waay fee waaw ma romb ko rek bërki démb muy yuuxu di tëb ma ni kii lu ko dal ñu ne ma daal ci loto gaming Gambie bi la laal
jar na ko
laal na ci lu di waaw
nga dafa am quarté am kente am tiercé waaw maanaam nag tey jii kente bi la te jackpot bee passé xaalis
kente mooy lan
kente maanaam mooy juróomi fas yi
waaw beneen bi
am na quarté mooy ñeenti fas yi ak tiercé tey nag xaalis bi daa gën a yokk lu tax ndax jackpot bële dañ kaa tegaat ci bii maanaam juróomi fas yi boo ko jàppee ci ordre mooy risque nga désordre bi sax day fay bu ma ko jàppoon
yooyu moom noonu la demee da ngay dem rek jouer
am na lu ma yaakaar
man gis naa seen kii yi keesku yu ndaw yi ci biir dëkk bi mais daal dama ni lii moom amul xaalis da nga ciy def sa xaalis
del jël wecce rek sànni ko fa xool jëmbat la laa ilaha illallah yow li nga wax ni tey ji bu yàlla dogaloon ma gañe ko lu mu gàtt
fi mu toll nii boo gañe woon $100,000
waaw lu may def
waaw nooy def
xam nga yow sama xarit nga
waaw
damay fexe nga rey say noonu
ci nan
lu mu gàtt $50,000
waay
Thierno woowu l'ambulance
lan la lu xew ni
sa baay gay dee na
sama papa gay lu ko rey
$100,000 laa ne ko boo ma gàññaloon si li ma la yónni dama ko koy jox mu daanu nii sama kaw
man waxuma ko mu waxee woon la ko noonu yow la ko waroon informé ndax yow yaa ko gañe jàppoon
Welcome to part 2. Comme nga fanya mindro part 1 interesting tale. Ahmed Jibe as a person, kabra bota jang nyimbanko kang at a very young age kata karangola miyasi karangola, and of course atata ko dol mintrola I am brief wodola kumaya tanyin sifal kakacha kabring woketa Ahmed dunta kelo kono andala kelo man doyano mol starta ka Ahmed lo woleto mol ma Ahmed long GRTS numbake mol starta ka long woleto kabra dunta num struggle kono bari kelo keta kelo ko leata num bake dimita num bari kelo alnata gambe no so je Cairo la election keta president mol solo sande nyol fata wokono usinu dabo nyol tata prison. At that time, I think that was the time you junta UDP. You decide what on KJ party jamal to PPP la meeting auto in New York, you in DC you were there, but didn't have to declare UDP le. President Barrow became the leader of the coalition. Akita president few months into that, problem okumasta new move flow tema the UDP and the president. You decided to stick with the president. Why did you stick with the president instead of kataila pati miyalan ko wolle ibenu wolta
abaraka mbare muzo comme ya fo nyame kelo duta late 2014 2015 le ndunta no UDP Fabu Sane Lamin Tunkara played a very significant role because wado yalo nendamantra party to no mbe Fatou radio mbije up to around 20 late 15 then data gainako mostly because nka entertainment o kenyameng adu mo jamale kela men and ngamera ngamo jamale influence in terms of pure active supporting in politics so minkeda kafu ne atuma ko be kelola a lot of times ikasula media lal so ndelo programme jama mol kela mo because nga entertainment o min kije osmbenga nyola kafo nyina rato duga walien fenkele for fundraising and I fronted fundraising for them Gambia Democracy Fund GDF wal fanalo nga fundraising bake nitol in fact for several times jalisiatul mo moleti mi alon ka fana assemble raje back yo natana funding kol fana kafo dolo flex dan bije nyina rato la ala kafu jamallo so nga fundraising kol fana aning PPP it was in the same kind of a situation young invite ila foundation bare manda no PPP mbina ro bayring ila mol tema fam ko mboda PRC ndara PPP ndara UDP you know bare nena manda PPP I was never a member of PPP and I'm on record in nama ikonyele na bare nena man som kadum PPP bari yang invite ndata America nga big fundraising KJ in Maryland. So bari kuol keta nu nyameng nin tunkaranyol nin fabunyol sutiaranyol e konye ko na UDP. So nara UDP nga declare.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Kelo keta solo sanden demonstration o nying wonata ngakku kala mutaje kujama ba jamal manjara satwala
yeah.
bari bitu yes key activities all minu fenkera minu fundita wallal mu electoral reforms because yalon UDP wato momo bije comme signed mol minu bije usenda bo mansaya wo mu fenkolti wo is like is very central wo mu UDP la objective kono kubalti ani UDP dinol nga kalamu dale ko 2016 election on natuma problem man soto Dabo wouldn't have been qualified as your tambital so wo munun fondoman kilindi mi alon ko UDP demonstration ko ka keloke wo munun kukuma batije pour electoral reform yesodo electoral reform kilimbe kono wolam constitutional fanna mi upper age limit cap ke pour ay boje Dabo se silo soto pura silo 2016 of course ntol bail after all no I understand but there are also many other things many along problem bije ya jamme registration fee I have skyrocket for presidential candidates and all of that just to make things difficult so in demonstration on ke problem also da ya fo nyamen Usain data prison Usain bije we need a new candidate pour kalo election wala o diamo fananata aliya kalamuda Usain la preference munung Aissatou Toureldi diamo na do fana sonko kuma sta wolto especially nte aning Usain la family because ntani maya kakaja back Usain la mus follow na diata num back aning koto ma fana mi ala wolning solo sande nyol findita nyola buba jita gunjur maya ni o fana diata back kabire yeni Usain nyol be sorona bala alhamdulillah te silo sura fundita alay mol ma ko in different ways ay doku jamal ke maya on behalf of Usain ni maya diata ko so kabiri ko Aissatou Touré ta maya la fonte mo kote ma fonya Usain da bala muso ala musu follow wala fonte
koy lafta non Aissatou Touré
ayol fonya ko nye Usain lafta wala akonya dum family lafta wala fana adul lafta yelo nyali ma koy Aissatou Touré ma koy ya fam barata na mbaring koto alkali
mbera uncle
yes
atageno le barin ko todi de
mbarin that design so atebe UDP la diaspora atele ba nyaton kaya barin na diata numba nkakacha so kabiring maya fonye ngwa no problem barin te usually ka command structure nka follow akadenya back kadenya because nga dindi nyaton kaya jamal leke head boy and all of that so can undermine as a leader akang dimi back so no experience so nkala fika command structure follow because a better way so nga onkul alkali nyininga onkul alkali Adama Barola kumo fonde ntene na mam Barola but onkul alkali na ra fonye ko nyinne bije adum ning atuma ko he left Aissatou Touré support la nak that's okay bari nyin sarato ni nyinne be laring adunte ngamira wala nyanta kela wala nyindi ko Usain Dabo nene alkal ki Aissatou Touré kan pour Aissatou Touré join UDP mim fotaje alkal ya fonyala wo botaje the other reason is Adama Barrow aning other candidates minalon ko left UDP la flag biara la Usain Dabo koma wol mu parti di ngolet e ka membership fi jol e ka contribute parti janni kata bante modo tanang for that opportunity equal duma jibe kafo kono jibe folo nimmo malla fi palaso la suo kono alse findale ta modo nyinin bare molbe suo kono ma ime nyinin ka fay lafta nyaadon ka ala fay mal la fala ite ma okay ita band so alkalio analogy la I agree ya sa murunda maya kan ka entede iko Adama Barrow. In fact ndelo mo follow the social media me Adama Barrow to safe ka foko lon na flag bearer I'm the first person momo ya soto ye record samana na fengo hani bi nga screenshot la bije Facebook follow le Adama Barrow to safe je for fengo so another one nyama ganye okeda ye Usain Bonni na presence ya sambana you know diamol starter kake baba lafta man sala
so bari so ngana nanje yekuma ko fula fojang lafte mun lawaka eko ete hierarchy support ibu kala fi moye undermine because your leadership kele nibe leadership as the leader you don't want anybody to undermine you so number one Usain was the leader of the UDP Natra atele nyim proposal okay ko Aïssatou Touré nati did you not feel that was more of undermining his authority because he was the leader number one that's my analogy come just hear me for it and secondly was it also a yafuko iko kuma problem kuma stawalta mol mini alonko itole Adama Barrow propose because Usain yafuko nying we are odi am dingo keta and what a balanola womanke is that is not an issue in any settings mo be la fi place but at the end of the day you modo pick but not Adama Barrow became the candidate aketa president wati a winter finto keta albe mu kilinti was it not mole mamboje kata ko mo sindi Adama la ka sobodu ndi mi mo flol tema even at that stage do you believe ko sobodu nta mo flol tema even at the beginning because nyinde na mala fi la nun alafta nun karilela yamere wala man sobodu ndi Usain
Adama e lonne
but ko wala man sobodu ndi te mo ba fala
well I mean
don't you think I'm just asking don't you think ko wala sobodu ndi mo flol
well that is a possibility bari kabiring election oketa yalon nin kumu ne atuma nun ko abe kuyala mo anyanda kuyala Adama le ko you know Usain Dabo e mo dole prefer before Adama nata na wolong ay wolong Usain la musolto sakala manyo o mama bama sedol be kerin ala manyo mabo Adama ko malla fila abo mabo in fact Ibrahima di bandanga kalam do way Adama ko le kanen ka fay fonyo ita gagner la ntolte support la so ngalon ko Usain Dabo la preference mo Aïssatou Touré bari wo be ko la Adama e minke wolem kumfati ani hormone bunya bari kabira ganyeta sembo bala ase Usain balno palace wala asa la fila ata findin la prisons fan ayo sembo soto sai bari kabira keta mansati wodi amoni wo sonko nin waliyo be kola ay Dabo tala sambana akayta lom fati akay palace chusi laftamin akay mol chusi laftamin e palace di la famo okay woye mi yitandi wala nyindi ko Adama tonyeta nyawnya anyinata wala
okay hala rek ma just like tele fofu non betay ñu hala del gëna tuti
ya nan jelo
wa degala ñepp xam nañ ne it was not a secret ne lawyer Dabo honorable Dabo bugon na Aïssatou Touré way tam mën nañ ko xolé ci benen lens because Adama this was a do or die situation at that point. Te Dr. Aïssatou Touré demon na be tollu fo xamne she was known, she's been an activist that you know. While Adama Barrow on the other hand, he's known within the party. While at that point in time, Gambia needed somebody to just win. So most likely, I don't think, I'm not taking brief for Honorable Dabo, but Hedna do want something personal. Pour mu ne buguma.
Ku nekk jail dafa bëgg ku ko génne.
Because we select Dr. Touré, I want to believe ne Adama sa putut candidate or the other people. So this was okay. I can't be there. Let's look for somebody that would
a winnable
win.
Candidate.
Because all Gambia needed at that point, Moy Jammeh had to go. So but then coming back to the piggyback li Fatou wax dem nañ be xejna wax joju nonu bu nekk na lo xamne commencé na fitna bi. Because nit la. Ku ñëw di wax ne kii bëggut la woon. Kii keneen la gën.
You always put that in the back of your mind.
Definitely dina nekk loo xam ne so I think ne war nañoo especially war nañoo seetee beneen boor boobu tam ne with all honesty bi moo waxi Dr. Touré definitely there was no candidate from the UDP camp.
I would tell you something.
But then I stand to be corrected.
A young man from a very, very conservative religious background. choosing Aissatou Touré as presidential candidate for 2016 would have been a disaster. Yedina nyaton ko Jamal je Aissatou Touré ko mande because aka nyaka ko min kel nda ngaw kalamta alfa Jamal be banko kay malafa because yajo ka nyaka le kele ala na la kila la sunno mo Jamal dina mo Jamal nita ite alon you know Aissatou, that is in fact my own late father wasn't a very good fan of Aissatou Touré. My brother, the late Abdou Jitteh of Salandingoto, there are things. He had a very big encounter with former Vice President Asatou Sedi. So, and Gambia has a lot of conservative, people. Arab Karandingolu, Dino Dunkelu, a lot. The other problem we have is in the Islamic perspective. Musola Nyatonkaya is, there are a lot of questions to it.
Well, that we can argue until tomorrow.
Yes, well, I'm not saying that is what
we are trying to be a progressive society.
Yeah, but then
Musola Nyatonkaya. I agree.
You just needing to get rid of Jame might not change the perception and the views that people have as conservative Muslims. I'm not arguing. That is not the argument.
No, my argument is what we're trying to say
is to establish the point
that was what Dabo wanted. Dabo left on walla. Just maybe atela miro toko nine se ganye rokeno. Itela miro toko maybe musola ganye maybe atemoje. But what I was thinking is that should not, nobody should look that personal issue against Adama Barrow. Maybe momi beka solo lum follow itata de fongo yela duma le mera sponcho kam ite be mira kam mina wo time I don't think it was Adama at that time. Our belief is it was more about looking for somebody winning candidate.
I would even I know we're going a lot into English. I would question Dabo's respect for democratic principles in that case. He left. His deputy was here. The rest of the leaders that were in prison all had their deputies. If they are not in charge, there are others that they left behind that were in charge. And we knew that UDP has rules that guides the way in which they choose their leaders. You first have to be a party member to be chosen as a UDP leader or flag bearer. Aissatou Touré was not.
But she could have joined.
Well, I mean, forget about it.
This was not an ordinary. This was not an ordinary election. This was not even an ordinary election. But even the time, let me come here. The time you said something. 2016. Dabo was not supposed to be qualified. And even though Aissatou Touré was not a member of the UDP, Dabo sent somebody to approach her.
And she refused.
But Alia accepted at that time. Because you said Alkali went there to talk to him.
To join UDP. So not to become UDP leader.
To be joined and become the
No. These two are.
Would you agree, Ko? Would you agree, Ko? Let me come here. Would you agree, Ko? Would you agree, Ko? This was the beginning of the problem between Dabo and Barrow. Can we establish that? Can we establish that?
No, wait. You cannot just yes or no answer. That's a very, it's a complex matter.
Let's get a yes or no.
Understanding Barrow's nature. Now, probably not. Aseke one thing.
Probably not.
Asadimi. Bara nyinatala bayri wo bantala adun adama di mantima because mi ananga folom nyindi kabiri nyen kuo keda wato usenu be prisons baro ba nyini kan ndala jeroto usenu malafa nyini baro ya nyina soda sembo sod ning ayatuma ko baro lafta problem wala nun abe usenda bo mebe abakela ambassador to US akaita ke ambassador to US. He was now a president, but I'm okay.
No, but then remember ko UDP as a stakeholder was a member of the coalition. They had a stake, and people would say they had a bigger stake in the coalition. So Barrow could not have just done that.
I mean, Mbatu,
but this was a coalition.
Mbatu, Moli Omira no. Yalong Damen Kapile, yes, UDP had a big stake.
Yeah.
And they still had because Barrow is still in power. But with all of that, Dabo, he fired him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
What happened? Let's again get back to that point.
No. So I just wait before you get to that point. Because if we just go back a little, right? When, as I keep saying, when Dabo was selecting Dr. Toure, even Barrow did not. He didn't want the position. Yeah. We've all heard
we all had
that he submitted
at the beginning.
The night before that was closed. So these two entities are not the same.
So
then at that point, after Barrow put in his candidature and then he won, we all knew the whole of UDP supported him. So that argument, I don't think it's fair.
And I want to blame the people that took in this information. Those are the problems. And I want to believe that's where the problem started. I want to believe.
Barrow is not in prisons like Dabo.
Yeah.
Fewo Fenkachata. Dabo left the Isa Toure from the start. Barrow Belon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I Belon.
Yeah.
Coming.
But you are fine yamming.
You know, this is what happened. Ndenga mimira wala mnyindiko. Aseke. So boy do it at this point.
Yeah.
Bari, womela relationship affect because Kabrim Barrow kera president, the relationship became very cordial. Dabo actually mo be katalon president. Ni sula refe wala alkara Dabo le ale yuka kodo. Nim Barrow Dabo emin fo Barrow wala kak. Ay ambassador tomba laftamina. UDP na mansa kunda alhane bi. Key positions ne ajibe. Boyol minu baby je. Dabo le either recommend wala tele kije. Wala Ahmed Sane le recommend wala tele.
But bi ngaje wol bondi
ka
ko. Bi ngaje.
Well, balu be nyaming. Fatou Toure was head of news GRTS. Bi Imantaraje. Abdou Toure was GRTS director. Amantara Jane Abdou Toure Lamin Manga was. So life is a progressive thing. Bi etaraje do makino bang. Farakas yeta.
Mbeftala wol lato.
Okay.
Mbeftala wol tole.
Okay. Barinte mimman dianye. Especially Usain la Carol olom nyindi ko. Kabiring kuol tabita ye 3 years lonne. Usain Dabo abusi mbebul. Akate kela. 3 years te kela jande. Mote jila. Akabe sambala kiti wala. Okay, tam bebu reasons also manang and all of that we all agreed.
Yeah.
Bari mi ente di mi wolom. Kabirin kuol fenketa sobodunde tema. Of course, mo beaje.
Yeah.
Usain Dabo be tala do kola Adama Barrow sibito dimaso tenew talata fo arjumo sibito dimaso ayta meeting wala. Abe kumol fola mansa kundama. Abe do kola mansa kundama ko abe Adama Kajafila abe kumol fola. Monday I will ayta do kola official.
Can I come in there?
You can come in, of course.
Usainu Dabo would do call from Monday to Friday, Najita Friday, I thought political, because he was a political leader. He was a partner in the coalition government as a stakeholder, but in Naboto Katara Mitinola. Barrow, in the other hand, was welcoming people at the State House, Kala politic Kachaka ni Mulka meet. What is the difference here?
The difference is Usainu Dabo is an employee of the government.
Yes.
Employed by Adama Barrow.
Wow.
To be loyal to him and the government.
Did this employment ministerial positions are political positions? Remember?
I know, but you are still employed.
Usually you take
you are employed. I'm trying to get.
But remember how this party came.
Let me learn.
Okay,
I'm trying to fly and learn. Okay. The problem I had with his meetings. Was not at a meeting ola. Akatu telling the role. Akatu Adamal telling na. Akatu kumol fola Adamal manala mansa kundame ate. He was either foreign minister or vice president of that very government. I believe that was very long. That was a grave mistake on the side of Dabo. Adunte malafiolo. That is undermining of the highest degree. Ya fahamle. So olmu kulle mini alonko amanya ne kela. But at the same time. Ndolnga mansa sindile. Politiko ni ko jemolo. Ya faama. Alkiyama tati je. Molko Adama ji. Sanji saba wala sanjilu Dabo lafta Sanjilula because he lafta UDP lafta minna walam by 5 years we would have prepared enough. Double motivation multi. Adamanteng, Bankonteng, UDP would have been prepared enough for 5 years. Adama Boje, Usenda Boy Siranda, C5 comfortable. Wala interesting.
No, Ahmed, wait. But if you bring in 5 years, if the 5 years come in, then Adama would have been qualified to run again as well. It was the 3 years agreement that did not allow Adama to run again. So if we go for 5 years, then Adama is nothing would stop him.
But what happens is Dabo was on platforms to talk about his candidature for 2021.
Rightfully so, he has the right to do it.
Now
he's
that
a
is
political leader and a party leader.
So
but then Barrow was at State House.
Barrow is UDP. Dabo is UDP. Barrow is a sitting president already.
At that point, it's not UDP. Everybody was there doing their thing because the agreement was me pareta ye level field ground soto mobeta. So this is the period people will walk their walk pray for the next election. So I had never blamed Dabo going out campaigning.
But coming back to what Ahmed is saying, if that's the fact, he should not go to a meeting and be talking ill of the government.
I don't think he was talking about, but he was talking about what they would do. So I didn't think, at some point it got bad from both camps. Yeah, and nobody loved that. It went so bad from...
So, Mbitaka wodofo fenko nata Congress, 2019 Congress.
Yes.
This was where it became...
Everything broke down.
Very, very elaborate.
Yes.
You know, the lists were drawn. UDP, Daboe list all prepare. He did everything. There were, you know, prior arrangements. Janni Molkada Congress because saying Adamo wanted leadership. Dabo wanted leadership for the same political party.
Yeah.
It had a Congress a mol tombo, bari a mo jamal bali fenkenyol be also even Alkali.
Yeah.
You have Lamin Cham, Ude si senyolu, usene constitutional provision or sambana. Ko civil servants, you know, cannot hold positions in political parties. Bondengalonko, that is what the constitution say. But Dabo didn't mean that. And we've all seen that. Because Minkeda, at the very time he was saying that, Dembo by force was the presidential advisor to Jame, Barrow on religious affairs.
Yeah.
And that is a public service position. Dabo knew that. But they unanimously elected Dembo by force as the president of the United Democratic Party.
And I agreed with you.
But he denied the rest, quoting a constitutional provision that actually affected Dembo by force.
I agree. Let me tell you something.
We know Ama mean that he said he was not serious about it.
I agree. Let me tell you something. I agree.
I accept Nako and then you buy. Why was he not challenged?
That was everywhere.
The truth is,
why didn't you ask him?
I asked him. I agreed with you on this because I was at that Congress and I saw what happened at that Congress. Barrow's camp came in even prior to that. They wanted Barrow's leadership. Yeah. I know somebody who personally would say, you are the party now, you are the president, you should be the leader of this party. So in Barrow's camp, they were lobbying, just like any other person, they were lobbying to get people in the delegation to make sure they have prominent positions to be able to get Barrow to be the Secretary General of the party. And then the Dabo's camp also got prepared and they came with a surprise to change the constitution. In fact, I had Dabo after the Congress and I said to him, this was a political move. I said to him, because you guys wanted to take the Barrow team away from the executive, that was why you came up with this. And they argued, but me and so many other people still, and I still believe that was done tactically to remove Barrow's people from the executive. I believe that, and that I'm going to agree. And I put this to Dabo, but also politics. In politics,
well, it's a game.
Politics is a game. Whoever is superior in it, you take it to your advantage.
I agree.
Dabo knew they wanted to take the party from him. They really wanted to take the party from him.
Not from him.
No, they wanted to.
We want to better the party.
If you wanted to make Barrow the Secretary General, that means you're taking.
He would have been more respected as an elderly statesman.
Just to ask, what are the chances of that happening? I mean, because naturally you would have to go to Congress.
Yeah.
So fine, everybody would try to get their people in the executive. But I believe you have delegates that vote
Votes,
as well. So what would have been the chances of knowing Dabo and the UDP for all these long years? Chances of Barrow winning Dabo in a Congress that people are
well,
voting?
very highly likely.
Very slim.
No, it's not slim.
Very slim.
Very highly. So the problem
in fact, that's when they started playing the politics of getting regional chairman.
It is actually the people. It is the people that go to Congress.
Yeah.
Now, which people do we take to Congress? They are either Dabo supporters or Barrow supporters. And we
is the chairman, the structures on the ground.
The structures
but that's why, this is why, can I come in here? This was the time they started recruiting the chairman. They started playing the game at an early stage. Barrow's team. They started recruiting the chairman to get them on Barrow's side.
The problem we had was,
what happened, did it?
So the problem we had was, again, all part of the political game.
Politics.
You know, Ndola, again back to Mandinga. Mo Jamal be do kola UDP koto the past 22 years. They did it for free. Iman Karang, Jamalu, Iman Londi so Iman Naful so. Bari kela na kuto family ka doko ke kata ka UDP la programme attend. Baro ko sanim parti obelola. Alanga salary ke. Dabo Manson.
It was the
Dambadu Dabo Manson. But that is again political game because Nindabo Sondaola, the money is coming from Barrow. That's not so good for what Dabo wanted. And that is the leadership. So problem was started journalist son call keta for police all nada West Coast la Congress to yo kalamdal. So he Manson dole yedum again a be multi son ko started puru because regional team wallel kata national level pour ka politico kije. Son dolu abe wala nyama sonde Barrow Dabo until I was personally attacked by the Dabo supporters. I was still very democratic. Openly mbe barole, lafta barola because I feel like diamol mbe caring. It's easier to maintain Barrow than to bring Dabo. If you're educated, you base things on material evidence and track records. They've tried Dabo when he was young and nice for 20 years. Ima kenoje. Barrow pam within 3 months. Ya kenoje. Now he became incumbent. UDP's best chance, the easiest way for them is to keep the man sitting in the chair than to bring somebody and start the race with other people. You have the incumbency. You have all the advantages available to you. Keep him in the seat rather than taking him away and start the fight all over. Some said, yeah, but Dabo has been very nice and has worked hard. We agree with that. But then, it's natural to have divergence of opinions. That is democracy. And that's why you have rules for people to go to elections. But when we say we want Dabo, they say we are not UDP. We are hypocrites. You cannot be loyal to UDP without supporting Dabo.
Can I come
this
in
is
there?
What they say.
Can I come in there?
Yes, come in there.
Personally, as my brother and a friend, and you know we had these conversations behind
several times
behind the scene. I personally and so many other people believe that with your intellect, there were times that you were going too personal. You went too personal on Dabo on certain levels, even when Dabo appointed ambassadors. When Dabo did not appoint people from our region, I was upset, you know, and Dabo made a statement about he can choose from, remember? And we had a conversation about that. We wanted everybody, like Banyulunka want 6 minutes, they have 6 ministers, which we are still not happy about. Because we are the biggest region. We want to have representation in government. Everybody wants that. We wanted representation, and our people, the Combo elders, were going to government to lobby to get Kombonkas. But people were lobbying, and people like you were speaking up. Even at that early stage, you were too personal. You went personal. And this was somebody that, you know, you called a fatherly figure. Politics is okay. But sometimes when you go personal, you know, they look at you at a different level. Do you think sometimes you personally, Ahmed Jitteh, ika political somewhat too personal sometimes?
But so in politics, you know, passing is difficult to separate from whatever you call it. What is the order? If it is not personal, what is it? If you go to the West, you remember when Obama and who is it, Mitt Romney? Or
he was McCain.
John McCain. You know, they will mention each other, and they will mention what they have personally done, their policies, their contributions at let's say in Senate. Obama had spoken a lot about, you know, policies that McCain supported that were not in the interest of the United States, perhaps going for war, you know, attacking countries. Those were things that McCain did, and they go after each other as person. Kamo kumandena ka bane ndebuko okay. Kamimfo Dabo's name to be mentioned. They call that personal. No. So let's say, for example, because those are social media things. But I think he's gone personal. Me, I have said this. Usen Dabo ndela kumandi kombola kola. I mean for nyaman kuma kende fonye. Akoni kombo nkoli ano e kamfa. Woman ke kuma kendete.
Okay.
That's not good. One to say. Fulanjang, I mean, well, the only part that I think which I apologize for was you know, when I got angry with Panderimbai. He said some nasty things about Mandinkas, and I was angry. But I said, okay, this problem is not even the likes of Panderi, is the Mandinkas themselves, the elders themselves. Because, you know, and then I mentioned Dabo and his wives and all of that, Bibi Dabo, Chadao. So, yeah, understand. Come Nyilmin Kalnen, ko Wulonteng, no from Wungo Wuloteng, Kulufailalom. You understand? That I was personal because I reference him and all of that. But to say ko, Dabo ko, atella horomoya tinna, baro ganye danka horoma juma ako baro atella den kabadu nko te woman soto. So if Dabo said no, and I said
Ntola Mandinka, typical Mandinka, just like me. You are more even, maybe you are even more typical than me. Niko Alfai ko iman tonya for I mean for woman soto.
Well, so I mean you
have said that several times.
Yes, I've said it several, and we must look at that then. Kebalu ni be diamule ya long be diamule nyame. Because ninge kumo fa mansoro moka mansoro ko bo kala nen doti, that's a problem. Dabo nala den ka ba yurta nyi banko kan ne sanji mo ni fla man fensot baro na da fensot kar sabete ka fo ete la homo use horma juma o mansot so ni mol ko be o kala nen diroti afo ni ko nyinande ngo tenkung afo ne de tuwe kana sunga no fala na I'll say it. And to say going after Dabo is Nendiro, I'll go personal. Dabo wants to rule me and wants to, you know, be in charge of my security, my family security. So if he wants that position, whatever comes out from him is not personal. It's about our welfare, and we will challenge every single word that comes from him. If it comes from you as a political leader, we'll say Fatou, Toure and the word. These are the two we put together and analyze vis-a-vis the national situation. We cannot remove Dabo. You know.
So now this is the measurement we give to every political party, every political leader. So we'll do that with your candidate.
Exactly.
Let's go to your candidate now. Let's go to your candidate now.
Wait. For me,
I agree.
So now you're NPP.
Yes.
So the issue is not about Dabo or UDP anymore. It's about Ahmed Jitteh being in NPP. Tell us about NPP's policies. What NPP has for us in agriculture, in the education system, the security we've seen that everybody is crying these days, and all youth unemployment, all of that. What does your party have on the table for us and people that
a lot. Number one, first and foremost, you've talked about youth unemployment, because crime sometimes might have correlation with unemployment, rate of unemployment. So for NPP, we believe the best way to send down the unemployment, the best way to create jobs in this country is to create an environment for private sector development. because nenyim banku jamal jibe apart from China, Cuba, where economic activities are more, in the hands of government. In open markets, a lot of times, it is the private sector. Like Canada is almost 79% private sector, 21% government. So I think that is the model Gambia is trying to do. So, I mean, environment create me along is very conducive for private sector growth. And how do we do that? That is one of the reasons why infrastructural development is very, very key on Barrow's agenda. Nil after moli na ye agriculture ke, ye manufacturing ke, tourism ye better. For a silol dada, communication has to be okay. In fact, economic development is impossible without this, because the basic and the most fundamental thing for economy is the movement of goods and services. And how do you move goods and services? You have to have a strong infrastructure in place. This is the basis. Nyine atina Adama Barrow a lot of money ta aya allocate for infrastructural development. New Botaje, if you want a company of, let's say, Google or Microsoft or anybody to have call centers here, you need to have energy that is sufficient enough to be able to sustain these companies. Right now, we don't have that. And that is why President Adama Barrow is very aggressive on energy infrastructure as well. Yedulajibe, OMVG, there are a lot of electricity expansion that is going on. If you don't have these two, there is no way you can develop. Now you all know Adama is the leader of NPP, and he is the one that is implementing all of this. So that is very key for us. If you have good roads, people will not come and sit in Combo and become watchmen. They have farms in Basse. They will do poultry farming.
Just to follow up on that, it's good that movement of people is important. But then this is looking at the bigger picture where you're trying to bring in investors. But can't government create these opportunities as well for people that are in here before you think of roads for people to come in? Energy, even energy, before you think of Google trying to get call centers here, within our own households. I think that's the #1 step. And I think in terms of energy, and I keep saying this, and Fatou does not agree, I think in terms of energy, they're really doing very well. I don't agree.
The reason why when President Barrow came.
But in terms of infrastructure, definitely.
When President Barrow came, I remembered, he said, 2 machines just came. In next 9 months, Kuranku alto okumbola jang koteke. But that is not the situation. Most of the things that President Barrow promised us, Kurango in the next 1 year, Kurango to kumbola jang amanke. Kabrin President Barrow nata ko mani boto be keme wilkiling keme fula. Ni nata mani boto bita 700 amanke. Danyuno selata. Dom Kurango mansoto. Security mboko for right now. Everybody in the aning paper spray. Coming for you.
Joko Fatou jalba ko di Joko Fatou Toure Mandi Mori. Easy to deal with these things. First and foremost. Mba start later la. When you put the concept note of establishing Kerr Fatou, there are a lot of ideal and very nice things you put on paper that you want to achieve, you want to do this, and this is what you intend to get monetary-wise at the end of the year, your turnover, how many people you'll employ, and how you'll build a mansion with profits. But Ninata into practical things. If you come to implementation, a lot of things you want to do, you are not successful. Because kabiribe saferola doli promise ko be investment or ibe imakola ye advertising ke neta into contract, perhaps their businesses have issues, so they can no longer come. That gives you a setback. Now when Barrow was coming into power, yes, he wanted to reduce the price of rice to 700. He wanted to make sure electricity situation is solved once and for all. But what Barrow didn't know when they were coming was how much money did we have in our covers. Kodo jalebe banko la ranke soko. Barrow maolong. Faolon. Mo maolong. Bari ngalon ko banko nyanda kodo sorolal under normal circumstances. Bari sign kodi tije nga partners on financial mini alonko international community were willing to come in. Put a kodo dina. Bari ntolnga ning hame lafta minna ani World Bank ning IMF and other partners waliamera control nyanta minkela a different so ni oketa ite nila speed nila hame ba minkata ka will hope yes he domande one of the things nga problem also dula doto with this energy and water issue fang kabring World Bank and IMF nate konyako we have money and European Union to give you but one of the things you are going to do is to do assessment and auditing of SOEs, state-owned enterprises. We want to know how much money they spend, how many employees they have, what is their operational cost, how much loss they've had the past 5 years before we can even give you a single penny. Now, our problem of, and I don't want to go personal, Amadou Sanara company, we had that issue because the company that was going to do auditing, companies bid, Sane's personal company, he offered them a bid. European Union Mansong, IMF Mansong, but he refused. He said his company has the right to partner with the Zimbabwean auditing company to audit these SOEs. There was a back and forth for almost a year. Ahmed Sane Mansong, Wemol Batande. But Wokola Kabiri operator, fuel ndolka use, the amount of fuel we use for our generators is very expensive. Nse generator sana nge samada ngamira baro manke energy specialist adunde ngamira kabirim bita election okono. We didn't have any energy specialist that sat with baro. We all know the electricity problem will be carrying and we all want it to be solved. But then you don't just solve these problems like that. You need experts to tell you. Laymen like a buffalo security, nimol diamode camera security kan ebe dokole chikaleta mol no security stop. Security expert. That's not how it works. So saying World Bank energy is too much. One of the things we could do to improve is to try cheap energy. Ndara Senegal, Senegal itako nimmanke, but there is a lot of improvement today between 2016 and now. Wo not bank wodla kabiring Senegal energy manna the maximum farafenya nyolu kata badi buo mafong puruka electricity soto 6 hours abukasi because generator ni buka sustain no. And of course there is a solar plant that they're establishing in Jambur. OMVG has started. Kiang has never had electricity. Now there is electricity coming in Kiang.
Not
so
all
there
of Kiang.
Yes.
Not all of Kiang.
I mean, a thousand journey begins with a step.
So Jitteh,
that is what happened.
Jitteh, I believe, I said this last show we had, the rural electrification is doing well. Because obviously, Santoto, right now, Wolka Chrome is to found Tolbukasor. Last week, I think we were recording a show here, the whole day, even your businesses, you cannot operate properly because of lack of energy, proper energy. And how would any business sustain in buying $1,000, $2,000 fuel just to be able to operate fully? So there's still a lot to be done when it comes to energy. And energy is the driving force of any business. Investors, when they come, the first thing they see, they look at is the energy sector. How good it is.
And about a bag of rice being $700. Now, when you ask economists, there are a lot of things that happen in a market, especially for a market that does not have, production power. Gambia does not export. Most of the things, especially rice that we consume, are all important. So the price of rice is determined by a lot of things. Abedoku kan dameng. Ala production of nyadile. How much are they producing now compared to before Barrow came into power? Second, how much is the price of a barrel of oil? Because ikakulungo letaye sambana. How is Dalasi like against a dollar? Inflation rates. So as we move on, not only a bag of rice, the watch you bought 2017 for $50 is today $300. Not just rice. There are inflations. And, as we move, things get expensive.
So do we have to continue like that? What happened to Jahali Pacha? What happened to us trying to be, instead of just continuing with this whole importing? Maybe at some point we need to sit back to the drawing board and say, you know what, this importation doesn't really, let me finish, this importation doesn't really work. How about we go back to Jahali Pacha? How about we go and empower the people in the agriculture sector? So these are things that we are expecting, or these are things that even if they're not happening now, we would expect that, okay, these are things part of, in the pipeline. So,
yes. So again, with Jahal Pajar, one thing we also need to understand is a democratic government does not, or is not advisable to be involved as a government in, let's say, government being involved in agriculture. You want to encourage private entities, individuals or companies to get into these kind of stuff. Like Canadian government is not involved in production of rice. They are not involved in production of mangoes and cashews. It is the private individuals that are involved. And of course, government creates an environment for them. And in the Gambia, we have those. It's not at a scale that we want to. But then, it all comes down to these two infrastructures. If you want a multi-million or billion-dollar company to go and establish a farm in Jahali Pajar, number one, there has to be enough of energy to supply, to be able to sustain the production. Where the rice should be kept, under what temperatures, and how should they be dried, because nyimanol min kanaja near manol fenke parete keke dry lekon keke dula leto e jaje fo e jakos o electricity la nita ka jio bondina fenko kono in the river Gambia to pump it. You need electricity, energy to be able to do that. But it will be a caller. If you are done with that, how do you transport your produce to the other places, to the markets that you need? You need very good roads. But again, Ninyan Kufulo Bedare, which President Barrow understands, and of course NPP does, and that is why this year Molban and Naha, Silol Bulaye Fenge, even health care. We know a lot of people died in ambulances. There are a lot of people mini alonko ikonomada sama kono ndengo kalamada kiti. I
Jide kana healthcare kuma waje. Katu na watu misi yako tek. Healthcare.
Infrastructure. Importance of infrastructure.
Healthcare. Kana imagine.
There are places mini alonko molu economy ema dulal to mini alonko yen drive for command taxi tiolu. Nane mako yenga nyinsa malopitano to ko ititang because the road is so
But if you have a lopitan in every region, for example, proper one,
so
5 years.
No, I mean you are mistaken. There are actually let me just there are actually in Brikama now. You have, apart from the health center, Birikama Main Health Center, there are 2 more health posts.
I'm talking about a hospital.
Well, before you build, before you build a
before
hospital,
you build bridges and roads, healthcare, education, agriculture,
the basics, you start from the basics and go up. If you need good healthcare, you need infrastructure. If you need, agriculture to develop, you need infrastructure. If you want good quality education, you need infrastructure. If you want good security, you need infrastructure. Because Nico crime be fulabanda. You need a good road to have a swift movement of the police and armed forces to go and arrest that situation.
Somewhere, but if you have a proper police station,
why do we, the resource, if you have a police here, before you build a police post in Kiti, we have a good road from Brikama police station to Kiti. So nin kuketa before Kurumole Kana, the police has the ability to move fast there. If you have a police post there, that is a much more expensive thing to do than to have roads better. But remember, that is just one thing. Jama balel bijeka health sector min fote. President Adam Barrow, this year they've looked at the number of people that are going to university to study medicine. We have a big problem. And because a lot of doctors, na doctor only na noso, they fly out because dunia kamindila Angalteri alone. Gambia noso minka karanja ni parerita Angalteri is too much because they have a lot of money. So they are trying to also look at how much money are doctors paid, how much money are nurses paid. You know, because salary will increase. But after that, Dr. Ahmed Samatala ministry, he has relooked at the salaries, especially for those that are medical doctors, consultants, specialists, and those with PhD, to be able to maintain them, because if they go to other countries, they get a lot more money, and they move. So, nilbebe jibe kanne. Aduntola mansakunda, Adam Barola mansakunda, be parere ne kauke. Security aspect, you know, I'm sure you have a lot of things to say. We'll get to that if time permits.
Security, another security, very long time for security for.
Yeah. So, I like I said, jama adama demo hakilo kumata adama diato. Londo fana kamo makwe hakilo to. Eco security situation is bad.
Yeah.
I understand. Not a single individual should die in this country. People's personal properties, they should not be raided and all of that. But there are a lot of factors that contribute to the situation we are in this year. And people don't look at it. I read your brother, my Fati's post, and I laughed that, I mean, someone that has been out for a long time and understands situations can be dishonest, because I know he's not narrow-minded. He's just being blatantly dishonest about the security situation. Fatou, sawo sang nyimbanko kanja mo wuli tang grade 12 wale ka karambomba mo wuli tang at least 10,000. Wo 10,000 o kono.
What exactly do you disagree with my Fati?
My Fati ko problemo is democracy, according to Tonyat, is government's
lack of investing more resources into
and we are coming into all of that.
But that is the truth, Jitteh.
But there are a lot of factors.
But that is one of the factors.
Yeah,
lack of resources.
That will be one of the factors. But why wouldn't there be lack of resources? My party went and stole a lot of money.
That is not true. Well, the president said the money did not steal. Your president said on TV,
my party, I don't want to
president. You cannot say that the male president. Kabra may buy for the interest of the nation. When people kept pushing and pushing.
Probably he was not aware at the time. Probably the files from interior were not placed on the president's table. But I have a lot of materials, evidence to share with you.
Against my party?
Yes, from people, not even from the president. Probably the president is not even aware of them. Yeah, because
this is a serious allegation.
I am telling you, I'm on record.
This is
Mohammed Bazi, and there is another Malafunga Diam. But
this is a serious
but let's go back to the security situation. Let's go back to the security situation. 10,000 Gambians Minuka graduate. You have a little over 6,000 Minukata University, MDI, GTTI, American University. I understand. Majority of them Kadoku Soto through security institutions, armed forces, police, NIA, prisons, immigration. These are the highest employers of young people because Molbukata agriculture side. Kabirin Barola Mansakunda Nada. One of the conditions that the partners placed on this government for us to partner is to downsize our security institutions. They said we have too many people, men and women. So since 2017, no single individual is employed by the armed forces. And usually armed forces employs 1,000 or more people every year. Police the same. Prisons the same. Now, if we lose, let's say, combined figure for all these institutions is 5,000 people a year. It's 5 years now. How many people have lost their jobs? Because they are not allowed to get into the armed forces.
But what are the other opportunities?
No, I'm coming. I'm coming. Let me finish. Let me finish. So what happens to those people that do not have employment? That is a serious issue on us. And that is not because Barrow does not want to create employment, but because international community has placed a condition on us. That is not good. It has never happened in this country since Sadauda came to power. And you know, Yahya Jammeh used security institutions to create employment for the young people. The other problem we have that is not Barrow's making, the two major facts that people should look into is COVID-19 came. Gambia's #1 employer, according to records, is agriculture. #2 is tourism. We have over 400,000 Gambians that are directly and indirectly employed by the tourism sector. You have a lot of young people. They work there. Some are hoteliers, some are wood carvers, some are bouncers, some are taxi drivers, some are in fact gardeners whose produce they sold to these people. Wait, let me finish. Some are tour guides. Now 400,000. Bam, COVID came. Tourists are not coming. Now all of these young people, almost 400,000, have all lost their jobs since 2000 and early 2020. Now we'll have some people that are good, but we'll have some people that are not so okay. What do you want government to do is to employ them. The places they want to employ them are on sanctions. You cannot bring them into security because there's a sanction, there's a moratorium on recruitment. You cannot take them back to tourism because no tourist is coming. Where would we put them?
Can I come in? Can I come in first?
Let
I come in
yeah.
first? COVID across the wall.
Yes.
Across the wall a bit. It's not Gambia is not an exception.
Yes.
#1.
Yes.
The number of jobs that are lost in tourism sector is a lot.
Yes.
And a lot of people affected.
Yes.
That is what happened in Senegal. That is what happened in Ghana. That's what happened in Kenya, America, and across the world.
Yes.
Governments were innovative enough to put on strategies and policies and work around the resources they have. Let me finish. No, you
okay,
to work around resources.
That's
why governments. That's why we put them there to avert these things. When the tourism industry was going down, this is the Ministry of Tourism. They're working on issues how to make sure industry into fala. At the time, government should have come up with policies knowing most of our young people are employed in this sector. What did they do to make sure how can we help them? What did the government do? Nothing. Apart from giving handouts to them for 1 or 2, 3 months, which was good, but it was not sustainable because they could not continue. So they should have been able to do something. Gambia was not the only country that was affected. Senegal was affected. Dakar tourism, but our
and you know one of the reasons why we have that demonstration of some issue. This COVID has an issue. The reason why it is serious is because there are a lot of unemployed young people in Senegal.
What did government do here? And secondly, what did government do?
Secondly,
Ahmed, this is Senegal.
No, she's talking about other countries. You are telling me no Senegal. What did other countries do? She said they put up policies. We want to know the policies they put in place.
Coming to security, the reason why partners say we should downsize, because everybody, you and I, we were all screaming our security was overloaded.
Yes.
With people that were not qualified and they need to be trained and security service, that hence the security service reform coming in. And I've said this here openly. I believe, even survey shows that the army today is more trusted than they were before. The army is disciplined. We don't see them outside like we used to see them. And even though I believe the security service reform is not doing well, but that component, the army, they're in the barracks. We're not seeing them outside. I applaud that. And I said that in my last show. But the police, I am of the belief, and I agree with Honorable Maifati, that the police need to be equipped more. We need more resources in the police department. Even the IGP will tell you this. The police don't have vehicles. They don't have resources. They don't have fuel. How can you have a police? They go arrest criminals and they don't even have vehicles.
I agree.
So injecting in the security sector is #1 priority. Not about freedoms. No, it's about equipping the people. And I think my father was right in that.
You know, I mean, you have a lot of factors, and I agree. And I mentioned some of the most fundamental. You know, a military officer or a staff sergeant in the police will not go and raid your house. You know, they will not do it. That is going to be 1 out of 10,000 people. So if we have these young people busy bombstarring, you know, going around with white, we wouldn't have a lot of these. If we have a lot of those that left grade 12 and couldn't get admissions in the university, you know, going into police, intelligence, they would have at least have a fixed and regular income every month. That is not happening. This is Very significant. If you disregard it, you disregard the problem.
But
And let's talk about one
why is government not?
Now, what is the solution?
I am from Canada. You talked about the West and all of that. We have to look at the world very honestly and very truthfully.
Yeah.
If the United States doesn't have money, they print it. You know that? They raise the debt ceiling. We don't have money to help the COVID. Raise the debt ceiling and print the money. That's what they do. Canada doesn't. They print their money. If United Kingdom doesn't have money, they print it and help their people. We don't print money. We don't.
Where is the money that all came? We have a lot of goodwill.
Now, how much money came? Tell me. Now, that amount of money, we are again keeping quiet. Gambia government, you see those van ambulances that Turkey flew from Turkey to Gambia? You know how much one costs? They have almost 50 of those. That's a lot of money. And
paid for by Gambia government.
No, she said, where are those monies that came? I'm talking about the money.
So we use these monies to get these ambulances.
And you know, you have frontliners that they are paying, even if they're paying everybody $1,000. How many frontliners do we have? That's a lot of money.
Ahmed, you're talking about COVID. If we look at the COVID statistics in Gambia, I mean, it's true COVID is in Gambia.
Yes.
But COVID was not that very, very significant compared to, like in terms of our numbers, compared to surrounding.
But again,
so if you're telling me about 50 ambulances,
yes.
You understand what I mean?
Yes.
And then, of course, frontline workers, they did great. They should be paid. That I agree. But I think when we come to COVID, there was a lot, especially in terms of the whole quarantine process. Me, I'm asking you more about not government, right? I'm asking about NPP. What are your priorities as a party?
Fatu will always
That's what
go
I want
after
to know.
NPP,
what are your priorities?
The box stops with the president.
So to separate NPP from, you know, the government is tough because the leader is. And right now, if next election, he's the one we want to maintain. And of course, people will ask us about what he has done. And that is why we cannot remove government from it. So again, let's go back to when you look at the employment rates in Canada, you realize it's very high. It's almost 10% now. It used to be for the past 10 years 4.5. It went so high. Like I said, they print money. They have their foolish ways to deal with it. But go to the United States and ask how many U.S. citizens lost their homes because of COVID. We've known that homelessness surged very, very high. People are sent away from their homes. People turn out to food banks to get food. This is one of the richest countries in the world. If they can get that, we that just came out of a very, very disturbing form of governance, to be able to get all this, put TRRC, you will soon start asking me, time is finished, don't ask me. Put the constitutional commission, you know, put
definitely
this, all of this you know, it's tough. It's like, you know, you have a big pipe, a pipe that is a circle, and every side has a hole, and your fuel is just leaking. You need to fix every single hole because a single hole you left will destroy it. That is the situation Gambia find itself in. So you have to fix, because the healthcare was terrible, you have to fix it. But the security is also terrible, fix it. Agriculture is messed up. You know, foreign policy, you know, roads, everything, electricity, all is messed up. And we have no money. So the little we have, even to you it's 500 million or 300 million. When we distribute it, the road, Hakalang alone is $86 million.
So I don't want to go into all of that because my time is already
so when that
up.
money is separate, you know, you distribute it.
That's why I'm asking, what is the top priority?
The toppest of the top is infrastructure,
roads,
and electricity. When you get these two, people can fly from Birikama. If the road is wide enough and okay, an ambulance, you can get somebody from Birikama to Banjul within 15 minutes. I want to believe if the road is good, if the road is okay, you can, that's not a problem. So fix the roads. When you fix the roads, you have access to the hospitals,
Do you have the human capital in the hospital?
Now that's again not. It's very complex. That's the problem. Salary is low, but Barrow knew about that too. He increased the salaries by 50%. My sister was complaining about that.
If you increase our salary by 50% and the salary minimum $500, $1,000.
Yes.
Man bottom $1,200.
Okay.
How is that?
Again,
how does that help me? How does that help me?
You see,
the priority should not be roads and energy. The priority should be. Nkono. You don't care what road is there.
We have two problems. Number one, Gambia ka duto min dada. Gambia ka tiyo min dada. Our biggest problem is post-harvest loss. Yenyo dada ye mano so de kindo so do bari post-harvest loss. But say, that is what I'm saying. How do you
bring industry invest? Give tax breaks.
You have highlighted problems.
Simple. That is what I'm saying.
Solutions.
If you have electricity in Gitteh, you get a cold store. For example, a big cold store like in Canada, Walmart and other things, you know. Duto niya samba til nani til lulu. Duto ka tinya janne. Ni elementa usamba na marse rama wafi wala kucha. Tilifula tilisaba se tinya. Ila fenko dole nyama jatolu at most 1 week ni mandula sotai. Government is bringing electricity so that we can have cold stores. If you have cold stores, your vegetable can stay in a cold store for 3 months. Ya wafi bi amansa ya murundije. Ya sama nan sama, it can stay there for 3 months. Sarol jibe watermelon.
Lila jigeni di joy. Musol ka ina kumbo.
We'll have a lot of electricity enough. Every farmer, watermelon sellers.
Can we look into solar as well?
No. Yeah, and in that aspect, West Africa, the whole of West Africa, they came up with a roadmap to have energy independence for the sub-region. Now you have solar power, you have wind, you have fuel, which is the conventional. Now for solar power, they have picked Gambia as the hub. In fact, engineers came here in February, March to go and study the situation in Jara, where they will have solar here that is going to produce almost 150 megs. Gambia does not even need that. So that if other African countries are interested, they will export it. So that is one way. They ask Nani, bring Nani here, don't trust me, bring Nani. Because I'm aware of that, I've seen the document, and they are doing all of this. And I told you about Jambur. You have a huge solar farm that is coming up in Jambur. It has started, they are putting them in place, and of course we are moving. It's not all going to be the way Jabur and Zabur and Injil came to Jesus Christ.
I understand. Speaking about awareness, why is it that like these things that you were saying that they are happening at Mungehel? Why is it that you don't sell it to
Ahmed Jitteh?
Can they be out there for people to know?
Now that is a problem. I told President Barrow and I kept telling him, Ibrahim Silla does a lot of work at this place, West Coast and Ibrahim Sankari. But then a lot of these government employees, especially the top, I don't know what they're doing. And I told the president that all these things are on the ground, all these good jobs are happening. Gambians don't know about them.
Let me tell you what they tell us when we call them.
Yes.
You tell them, come, let me interview you. They say, no, you know me, I'm a technocrat, I don't speak. You know what I tell them? Are you scared to talk about your policies, or are you in the government and you don't believe in the government? What is the problem? Because if you're paid by the taxpayers and you, the president, have a trust in you, you're working for this government, you're working for the president, and you're scared to talk about his policies and what he's doing, then there's a problem. That is our issue. And they tell us we don't bring them, but we invite them, they don't come.
I mean, that one, I agree 100% with you. I don't know what they are doing. Even on this deportation, there are a lot of stuff that we can talk about.
But
people talk about deportation happening. This government is doing a lot.
But they don't come. They don't. Fatou bantale Jitteh. Even program in there Jitteh na for
Have you run out of cash power? Do you want to transfer funds to your family? Or do you want salary advance without coming to the bank? Your banking services have just been brought to you on your mobile phone. Download and install from your App Store or Google Play Trust Bank's mobile app Simply search for TBL mobile app and follow the instructions. You can access the following services: funds transfer, cash power purchase, forex rates enquiries, mobile airtime top-up, mini statement, balance enquiry. TBL app is the only app that allows you to take salary advance and many more. You can also interact with your customers using our USSD code by dialing *533#. At Trust Bank, we bring innovation that is useful to you, our valued customer. With our mobile app and USSD, banking is at your fingertips. Trust Bank Limited, proudly Gambian.
Better and stronger as the sole ground operator at the Banjul International Airport. With an expansion in travel services, customers are assured of GIA's capacity to cater for all their travel needs, provided by professional, experienced, and ever-smiling staff. GIA's Hajj package and services, by far the best in the country, give the customers the opportunity for a memorable Hajj experience. For a more efficient cargo services, GIA means business as it launches its new multi-million-dollar ultra-modern cargo complex to revitalize and stimulate air transport. GIA, the pride of the Gambia.
Kukilin na lafta o fola. Watu do jisol kakandi sako funding kewon. Yonte people would say I'm arrogant. Sangarola, sangaraba. That is bloodline. My family people are very. My dad was, So bari mbe mol dan la kukilina wala mbe carte fay sawol kono. Adong jama dol funding kewon jiso kakandi bag ka kamfa. Yo bari banko mun dolle tati kata nse kuya sa ni na Facebook post even ni mol buka kela baket ni afengen ka ke jelol because I've promised. I know I clock 35 going. I have to be mature. I'm also a younger statesman. Yala Usienda is elderly statesman. I am the younger statesman. Good. So we can argue with civility, with decorum, and understanding that the common denominator is Gambia. This security situation, among NPP long, among UDP long, among DOI long,
among independent long,
they are going into people's houses at random. In fact, a UDP supporter criminal, NPP supporter criminal, may go to an NPP supporter's house and breaking. So this is what it is, that we need to understand. Be killing. But better for konto nambe tendula. Media house nka mwele ka fo ibe UDP le. Nka mwele.
Iko mwele.
But mba folale mba muso mantra UDP. Amantra NPP abe media do ko la labula. Bailen ko
afuela molide
sumalen kamfaja
yalon kamin foy ko alkatung attack la bek attack la bari I have the biggest supporter nal ninte crash the lolu ninna brother natal nomo wol nal bal nako he doesn't care about NPP or others. I am priority foy teje olin
fu ma teje Ahmed dal warna del ci way because waxtan bi tay at Ahmed sax desna because man dal luma wax from the beginning election yi lañ wax man dal lima bëgg xam moy lu ta voter ci war leena sani la what are some of their priorities and policies why so that since this is the first time we know dinañ ko mëna jox the leeway understand this is the first time we know yaramam tangana so dinañ delu wat dañ amone pour delu gannaaw be ay tuti why again mom comme ka NPP la bo xamne he's a non NPP supporter sa yo fi ñewate dinañ gëna waxtaan ci yefi NPP ci yefi parti bi waaye kontaan nañ ci sa ñëw lu bari tam leeral nga ko fi ba pare tamit ni nga ko waxee elections la benn common denominator la mooy the Gambia so ku nekk nag am nga droit far fu la neex ku nekk am nga droit gisee nu la neex ku nekk mun ngaa gis bu teel nga ne kaas la loolu des na si yow so dañ war a bàyyi suñ bokkul benn parti ñu saaga la fii hypocrite nga fii gis-gis yi bokkuñ interpretation yi bokkuñ understanding yi bokkuñ man li ma understand ne yow understand wuloo ko noonu yow ni nga gisee man giseewu ma noonu dañ ne election yi nañ try ñu wax about voter registration xale yi war a am 18 years xam nu ñu war a amee carte ak yooyu ñu dem ku nekk nag nga seet ki la doy koo foog ne dina mun a yóbbu suñu affairs of the country based on lim def or lim laa wax nga sànni ko Gambia ñu ñëw December 5th ñu am suñu government
ñu dem State House
waaw ñun nag ñu dem State House
man ku win rek maa bëgg a first interview
waaye daal
waaw
affaire
you'll find me dancing
ñu war a xam nga lu ma jaxana Ahmed fu mu ne nii ñi nga xam ne dañ ñu toog fii wax ñu ne karta rek a leen teree toog State House bari na waaye ñun ñëpp invite nañ ñu so far soo betee rek ñu naan invitation si ñu ngi pile up daal waaye thank you very much waaye definitely moo Ahmed you have to come back
waxtaan bi neex na Oli kaca diata Jitteh I'm content about it you know I never thought ko abe candidate attending but at the end of the day I think Badia Bondi jail and we were able to talk about issues professionally and I think gaming for at the end is very important the election year for everybody to tone down I was very happy Kabiringa Lamin S Dembala post day I think just to calm down the tension we should have a football tournament the young people of the parties to come together because right now the political tension is too high and as a country with this volatile security situation among ko nga dum politiko ko ñu molbe ñamin tenti politiko mu ñoo yayalti politiko ñanta kala wolti starting from you itel be ñaato jang and you're my brother my younger brother of course starting from you and to every other person I think we should tone down nga politiko ke kuluwo kono ani horomo kono nkana ñoo has yes we will challenge each other on record yemune ke mam minke I've told people you know sometimes people will say ebe jane nte kam fomole ko nte Facebook odo nin kudo nte baka politiko ke oto but nin si tan najin siran kono jang this is where I say it ni na tenye konye baro nyine ke mbafule no ay nyina fo nyamaki that doesn't make me another political party member but akumaya tale election yembolo kono nga tension o jinde bankobe sangarare ne alfal bebe diwri mol man care and ning fitino sa atina no le fang voters mol la finto kata carte fa sa affect no ko mo bafla muna jarta la bang ñunu bebe fitino la muna jarta la fa wonte nga finti nga ta carte fa wala tinna momo operative in politics mbe nyanta min advocate la nga tension o jindi Usenu Dabo lafta minna Adama Barrow lafta wala bankoe Halifa Sallah lafta wala bankoe Mai Fati lafta wala mbenala like is the approach how Barrow wants to do it how Halifa wants to do it how Mai Fati wants to do it that is the difference but they all wish this country well and that we cannot argue about so if they wish the country well they want to lead us to the right path but us the supporters why do we have to insult each other I think this is things we all have to advocate for and encourage people to go out and register especially the young people. In 2016, it was the young people who came out and voted massively to get President Barrow here. It's the young people who are going to come out and tell us, yes, we want to give another mandate to President Barrow or we want to change President Barrow. Registration is open right now. Let's go out and register and go out and show our loyalty, whoever we believe is the right candidate.
Which
and
is
December 5th. December
Barrow
5th.
is the right one. Register and vote for Barrow.
Good night to you all. Ahmed Jitteh, go register and vote for Barrow. Whoever you want to vote for is your constitutional right. Thank you very much, Jitteh. Good night and bye-bye.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamtel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamtel, Yaibaram.